And we are live. Okay, so last time, oops, and let me change the resolution on my screen so you can see better. There you go. So, last time I saw you, we added a new feature which was triggering multiple states, registering and triggering multiple states. Since the last time, I had to make a few changes that I could not record because at home right now I don't have the internet. I just moved out and it's taking a bit of time. But I found the bug in this test. It was originally each step is merged on top of the other in call order. But I was not checking that it was deeply merged, and because of that I only checked for a simple merge. So I fixed both the name of the test and the values I check against. Now I check that state 2 does override the key for state 1 but do preserve the keys of state 1. So this has been fixed. And the second thing, and the second thing is I added the types because I needed to use the package on another project. So I exported the types. And the way you do that is you specify inside your package JSON here. You simply add a types key that links to with the path to your types file, and so which is here, and then you ask TypeScript to simply export it. So in my tsconfig I have the outdir and the rootdir set up. Outdir being where your files would be outputted, and rootdir being the source files, right? And inside my package.json, I have a post build command. So in npm, you have pre and post commands, and pre run before a command and post runs after. So if I have a command named whatever, if I register a pre whatever command, every time I run the whatever command, it will run the pre whatever command before, and if I have a post whatever command, it will run it right after. So that's what the post build does. It means that it will get run every time the build command is run. And what it does is it calls the TypeScript compiler CLI, telling it to export the declaration files and to emit only the declaration. And I've had some weird bugs, not bugs, but things, when I did not set up the source and the out inside the tsconfig file. It complains about overriding the original file, even though I was overriding it here. I don't really know why. So this is why there's a part in here and a part in the tsconfig file, which I don't really like, but that's okay. And so what it does is when I run yarn build, so you can see it runs this command, parcel build, and you can see it executes right after the post build command. I also added a deploy command which run my build command, so it will also run the post build and then runs npm publish. This is so that I avoid forgetting to build before committing. Okay, and so now that I exported the types, what is amazing is that I do have it inside of other projects. So inside this project, I actually use the package, which you can see here, import factory from is that centered Charlie's factory. And I define some factories, and I'm using it here, right? And this is what I was talking about, is that the amazing thing is that it makes my test very obvious, right? Here the test says it displays default avatar if there is no picture. And here I make it very obvious that the owner has no picture, right? And there I say displays the user information, and I see that there's a username and a picture, and this is what I expect. And it hides all the other information that are not important, because turns out a card has a lot of information. It has the titles, the comments, the owner also has information. It has a username and a picture. So it allows me to hide all this detail and keep my tests obvious. So the thing I would like to do today is add a new feature, which is I want to be able to generate data automatically, which means generating data. Which means that I want to be able to do something like factory, some object, then execute, and have something like generator.name, and I would expect that doing that name to be defined for now. And so I think the way I would do that is by passing a function. Oops. So the function gives me a generator, and I can use the generator.name to create the key. Right? So this would be let's call this a seed. I like that. Seed, and what? Oh yeah, you're complaining because it's of any type. And named and yeah, sure, because it's trying to match the behavior with the one that is typed here, so it can't work for now. So yeah, I would like to be that. I can pass in a seed, and it will populate the data automatically for me. Yes, I like that. And for now, I won't go into mocks right now. To be string. So I will keep it simple, but after that I think I will add the ability to choose a generator, so that means that I will be able to mock it, or I will provide it by default and mock it anyway. We'll see. Okay, so let's run our tests, and I'm expected to get a bunch of failures. I'm actually surprised that this doesn't throw, but that's okay. It will. So let's run the tests. what is it telling me? Property name does not exist on type function. Yes. Okay. Because right now I'm using a generic, and so a function, an object is a function in JavaScript. So it's fine with me passing a function here. It's just saying that it expects a function back, which is not the case here. So I guess the first thing we need to do, name does not exist, yeah. So the first thing we need to do is to provide a second type, which is I can either pass a generic or a function returning the generic type. So let's do that. And I'm thinking we might need a bit of a refactor to have that before. No, let's learn first. So the blueprint will be either an object or a function returning a specific object, to which I will pass a generator of type any for now. And we will extract the interface later so that it's cleaner, because it's getting a bit crowded here. Okay, and so I'm getting a bunch of errors here, which is because I now allow both entry types, and so it's complaining that I am not returning the right thing or something. Yeah, this is not very clear. Override, blah blah blah. It's not assignable to type T. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so basically this is that. So we need to fix that first. And the way we can fix that is, so I think this part is fine. This part is fine. Ooh, and that makes me think we also need allow generated data for states. Also, should we allow it for the overrides? I don't think so, as the override is technically the only data that matters. Right, this is what I was showing here, right? The only thing I care about is the override, that the owner picture is empty. So generating data, yeah, we'll see. Okay, so applied states, and this is where I fixed the bug. I was doing a shallow merge, using spreads. I was doing this state and applying the cur state on top, but in only shallow merges, while merge from low dash does deep merge. So this is what I fixed. So this part is fine. I think this part is the one causing the problem. So let's make this pass in the dirtiest way, fastest way possible. I want to get to green as quick as possible. So I want to check on the type, and if type of blueprint is not a function, then return this, else return this. And I was expecting this to work, so there's no need for a clone deep. Oh, and we execute the blueprint, and there we go. So this fixed a lot of the ugly thing, right? The problem was I was trying to call the blueprint, but sometimes it might be something you can call, right? The seed, but also it very well might not. So this is what this was complaining about. And now it's complaining about the fact that it's not sure what blueprint is at this point. It knows that it's not, that it might be a function, but it might also be an array, because an array also is a function, but I know it is not. And supposedly you can do array is array blueprint. You can do that, and it should infer the type or check that array, that blueprint isn't an instance of array. But I haven't managed to get it working, so I'm sorry about what I am going to do. There we go, and this should fix it. Okay, so we are good on this side. Why is it still complaining on this side? I think it is a bug. So let's rerun our tests. Okay, so we are now failing because we're not doing what we expect to be doing. But everything is okay on the TypeScript side. So yeah, first step, good, we changed the error, so we moved on. So the next step is to get the test passing, or at least change the error, but at this point the only way to change the error in a meaningful way would be to have the test succeed, basically. Okay, so stop talking and let's do that. So I am using the generator. Okay, and let me, I'm not sure if at this resolution I can display both in a helpful way. Not really. Nope. Okay, too bad. So what this means is that at this point I should pass the generator, and I would expect this to complain if I was not passing a generator, which it should. So I am going to reuse this, and now it should. Yes, it does. Okay, that's better. And I should be back to test failing. Okay. And I'm not going to refactor that now. So how do I want to... Okay, let's make the test pass. So factory that generator equals an object, and for now I need a name key that returns some name. And no, the test should still be failing right now. And it does, and with this it should work, and it does. Okay, great. So what happened here? So I simply created the generator, assigned it to the factory function as a key, and then simply used it. Because right now I am looking for a name key, which I provide in here. But I don't really like this test. So there are two things. Right. First, I don't really like the test because well, I'm testing that it does some random generation, but it forces me to have a generator that implements a name thingy, which I am probably going to use, what's it called? Faker, and I'm not sure Faker has this method, and I don't want my tests to be tied to it too much. So I would rather like to mock the generator and check that what I get returned is the mock I set. And the second thing is this is getting really crowded. This is nasty, I can't read a thing. And this is because of a code smell named primitive obsession, which is everything is a primitive type, objects everywhere, but basic objects, like not classes or value objects or entities, right? This is the basic JavaScript objects, strings, and things like that types. So nothing has its own behavior. The factory function does everything for everyone, right? It does too much things. And I have to fix the types too, because this isn't readable for now. So what should we tackle first? I think we should have a way to see things. We need to see things a bit clearer. So let's extract the types. The tests are passing, so I am in the refactor phase, so it's fine, I can do that. So I want to extract an interface and I cannot. So you will be a type okay, let's call this user dynamic seed, sure. Type user dynamic seed equals this. And I am calling this user dynamic seed because it is, at the end of the day, a primitive type. And I know that I will have a value object, meaning a class to encapsulate all this behavior. That will be some kind of seed or state or something that will either be dynamic, meaning when the user passes a function, or simple, which is when the user passes a simple object. Okay, and so, yeah, as user dynamic seed, okay, and this, for example, will move into my value object later, but that's not for now. Focus me. Okay, so this is a bit clearer, not that much, but it's a start. Okay, and type user simple seed. And so what I'm doing here is basically I'm kind of starting to giving names to my domain. Use a simple seed, yeah, that's fine. I'm not sure that's...
Bonjour. Ouais, j'avais réservé la salle à côté, mais c'était que je... Personne, je peux pas. Non, bah, j'ai. Ok. Pas encore, non.
Non? Par rapport à ton fichier, là? Non, par rapport au tableau.
Pour le tableau, ouais.
Ok, normalement, il doit passer aujourd'hui.
Ouais, bah
Cet
si...
après-midi.
Ok, si c'est
Tu
pas
l'as
le cas,
pas,
je
tu
le lance.
m'envoies.
Ok, ça marche. Merci François.
Sorry about that. Am I still recording with all that? Yes, I am. Good. So, where was I? Yeah, this thing. Okay, no, let's not do that. User seed, and you will be either t or function returning t. There we go. That's better. User seed. Fuck, I still need the user dynamic seed. That's okay for now. I know it will go away very soon. Let's be nice. Let's do that. Seed. And the generic, and we should be good. We are. Okay, fine. So what's next? What next is this part, is what do you return to me? I think this is a thing maker. So let's call that thing maker of type T. I like that. Thing maker, yeah. I pass to you overrides, which are a deep partial of the type. The state names are a string. Alright. Which are the state I want to apply. So yeah. Okay, this will work for now. So this is already a bit clearer. We still have all this nasty thing here, which happens because we have to handle the two different type of inputs, which I think might be the only goal of this function, converting the inputs to the needed type and then simply call a method on the generated object. Okay, so next thing I want to do is to update my test. So let me, do I want the generator to be configurable? Let's say yes for now, that's fine. So I am going to keep a backup of the original generator. So equals factory that generator. Then I'm going to override it with with an object with a name, which would be h. No, it won't even. Yes, it would be. Let's make it obvious. So yeah, I think this was complaining because it doesn't find anything key inside factory.generator here. Let's make sure of that. Type thing does not exist in type name. Yeah, that was that. But yeah, for this one, it's fine. Okay, so the test is failing because it doesn't find the method name, which is fine by me. So now we are using thing. Let's set up the world factory that generator that mock returns Batman. I think it will still complain. Let's see. Yes, it does. I'll type names, change to type mod, maybe a mistake because now that the other and the expression is unknown. Yeah. So like this. Can I do that? Cool. And so I expect factory see that name to be Batman. Huh, I was expecting this to work. Factory that generated that. Oh no, that's why it doesn't work, because I fucked it up. That thing, this is the method that is a mock function as any that thing that mock return value. There we go, and we should be fine. Yes, it works. So what I'm doing, and let me after each factory. Oh, I need to restore the original mock. There we go. Why are you complaining? Oh, sure. And the reason I am restoring it is because if some other tests has to use the generator, it should be able to use the correct one, although the way things are set up as this run before each test, if inside of this I am trying to use the original one, it won't work. But that's fine for now. How much time do I have left? Not enough. Okay. So I wanted to focus on extracting value objects for these, which I think will make for a very interesting refactor video. But it's a bit short. I have less than 10 minutes and yeah, it's too short. Can I add something else for that? Allow generated data for states. State patches. I could do that, but it's gonna be a huge mess if I do that right now. Let's 9 minutes. Okay, let's check that. Test generate data for states. So I expect that if I give you a basic object with a state, state 1, whatever, so you should contain a name key, and so no, you should not contain a name key, you should be a seed. So I should be passed a generator. Oh, well, let's use the seed. Seed. And I expect the name to be Batman still, so I think this is fine. Yes, so, oh, name. And let's not try to look clever, let's do generated. There we go. Okay, so this is complaining that I cannot assign a function to a string because the type to as a partial of this object, which makes sense. So I need to say that basically my state patches, which defines what I'm passing for the states, is either is a user seed, meaning it can be either an object or a dynamic seed. Okay, so I think this should work. Okay, and this bugs again. Okay, and now this fails for the actually oh yeah, because I did not apply the state because I was expecting this to overwrite name here and I was getting name, so I was confused. But so I need no overrides and I want to apply state 1. Undefined? Yeah, undefined. Okay. So this one I was expecting to work. Well, to crash, but for, let me see. Oh yeah, sure. Name, seed, received seed. Okay, so it does work. It's because Lodash merge must be doing some magic from preventing people to do dumb stuff on merge here. Okay, so expected generated. So it means that at this point, this is gonna get crowded. So if type of state is not a function, I should return a state. If it is, then I should return the state but executed, and this should complain for, so the first reason is lacks call signatures, aka I don't know if this is a function. Yep, and I expect that after I fix that, I should complain because I don't pass the generator. As user dynamic seed of type T, and now you should complain because you don't have a generator, which you do. And I think we should pass. Yes. Oh. And in 6 minutes. So it's very ugly. It needs a refactor step, right? The code is completely unreadable. I think I can make a quick refactor with this, which you can argue is not that much better, but it's okay. And yeah, so the next step is extracting value objects from all this crap. We learned a lot. There's an object with behavior that is starting to emerge. There's this seed object that can either be dynamic or simple. And this thing needs to be able to merge with another seed. So I'm expecting that later we will actually do something like new seed and state name, and then there simply do seed.merge cur state, and this will, and same for this, I won't have to do this check anymore. So this should simplify the code quite a lot. So this is for the next time. As always, I would love your feedback. I hope you enjoyed seeing me struggle, and see you soon.